Hey YouTubers, so today is day 5 of the build. Unfortunately, I won't be able to work on the truck today. I have to go to a rehearsal and rehearsal dinner for a wedding. But good news, I did receive my Eastwood box. Came in the mail today. So it comes packed. It actually shipped in, I don't know, 3 days. Something like that. So here's what it came with. Here's what I ordered anyway. Here's the pre-painting prep. Okay, so this removes everything, and you put it on before you apply the fast etch, and then also after you apply it, and then you know basically washes the metal off prior to doing any kind of work on it, which is better than rinsing it with water because you know you run the risk of getting surface rust again. Here is the fast etch. So it's acid-based rust removal and metal prep. So I mean, I've been using the vinegar water, which is essentially the same thing. You know, it's still an acid that kind of see phosphoric acid. The vinegar water is, I don't know what kind of acid it is, acetic acid maybe. But it also creates a zinc coating, you know, a zinc phosphate coating on it. Vinegar, I don't think does that, so that's why I got this. You know, I might as well do it properly, so at least I know that these two products work together well. And then I bought 2 cans of this internal frame coating, and it also has a zinc additive in it, so that kind of prevents rust also. But it also, you're essentially creating a barrier between the metal and the elements. So I mean, the truck actually itself had wax, you know, all over all the internal, you know, the frame coating, as well as all the internal body panels were coated in wax. But I mean, you see how well that works. So eventually, after, you know, 34 years, it's going to be rusting through. But hopefully this will, it converts, encapsulates, and seals rust. So it converts it as well. So, you know, if you have any kind of surface rust on there, so what I'm going to end up doing is using a wire wheel and the wire brushes, and kind of scraping all the rust out, like all the big chunks, and then smoothing it out, probably spraying it with something, you know, real quick, and then putting that in there. But another great thing that came today is my samples. So I got my samples from Monstaliner. So I'm gonna see exactly what colors work with the try to get this open. What colors work with the truck. Now let's see, it's supposed to be 50 samples. And look at that, 50 samples. And you can see why I like Monstaliner. It's here, let me try to get this on. The coating isn't super. It's kind of like how, I guess, rhino lining. I had rhino lining done to the bottom of all the rockers and sheet metal on my other G-wagen. But the problem with rhino lining is it was very soft. It was very spongy. You know, I needed a harder surface. You know, because if you could just see it was like super thick. And it was a very spongy material. I didn't like it very much. You know, it was easy to rip and stuff. This one is a much harder material, the coating, and so here's a sample of it. Here's the color. Let's see what color this is. Oh, this is detention. So it actually has a name. It has some bizarre names. So you have like pyroclastic, outbreak, detention. So detention is this weird yellow. Kind of looks like school bus yellow. Oh, no shit. Detention. That makes sense now. I'm a teacher, by the way, also. Okay, so here are the different shades. Here's the, if you can see it. This right here is the desert sand. So I kind of am leaning towards this. I mean, there's several different shades of beige. There's this one's kind of nice too. It's called Killer Beige. So that one's kind of cool looking too, and it's kind of a matte finish. This one, the desert sand, is a little bit shinier. And then there's this one, Yank My Doodle. It's kind of like a fleshy colored, peach colored one. So it'd be a toss up between these two. Kind of like the little bit darker shade. I'll look at it up against the car just to see. This one kind of has like a darker shade to it, so it kind of looks nice. And then, but then here's the different kinds of greens. So here's the World War II olive drab. Okay. So it kind of looks cool as well. And here's another shade of green, which is a slightly lighter shade. You can see the two different shades. So I don't know, this one kind of looks cool too. Sans Panties. I wonder what the actual paint code is for that. So these are two different kinds of military green colors. But then there's also this one, Jungle Love, which is like a, you know, like a dark green, but kind of cool looking too. So I don't know if I want to go with the more military look. This one kind of looks more like a safari look, I would say. You know, kind of a Defender 90s I could see painted in this color. So those are the shades. I mean, then you got some extreme greens like Predator Green and Mean Green Machine. Those are a little bit too 1980s Hot Wheels car for me. But Envy is also kind of a cool green, as is Johnny Popper. So I don't know. I mean, here's the different shades of green they have. And here's the different shades of beige. So I'm still kind of leaning towards maybe doing the desert. You know, kind of maybe steer clear away from the military look. I mean, the military looks cool and everything, but I don't know about for, you know, like a daily driver. If I could take my wife to dinner and we decide to take this car, it'll look kind of weird. I'd rather kind of make it look more expedition vehicle, safari than military vehicle. And then here's also the black, just plain black, which I would do the bumpers and everything in, all the accents. And then I was thinking white for the roof. So it'd be like, you know, white on top and this color, or maybe white with this color. That kind of looks a little bit kind of funny. Or maybe this one, Jungle Love, yeah. White with Jungle Love. Kind of looks cool. I don't know. So I'll play around with them. I'll talk to my wife. I'll, you know, get some second opinions from other people. If you have an opinion of what you think it looks, or what you think looks best, leave a comment for me so I know, because I'll obviously take it into consideration. You know, I don't want to just go in this thing and, you know what, I don't have a clear favorite, you know what I mean? So I'd rather have a couple second opinions on what you think would look best. But you can see the texture effect, and it's not super hard of a texture. It's not like a Rhino, or not a Rhino. It's not like a Line-X texture, or even like a what's the one you roll on? Herculiner. You know, I've done Herculiner in the past in my wheel wells and stuff, and that stuff is like super gritty and really hard to the touch. And I mean, if you scrape your legs against it, or your hands or your elbows or whatever, it hurts. So this one is a kind of smooth texture, and which is why I also prefer it. So those are the samples. These will not be used. Yeah, so leave a comment, let me know what you think I should do. You know, the roof, should I just do all one color and leave the roof the same color as the body? Should I paint it white? And what color paint should I use for the body? So I have a variety. My favorites so far would be the darker green Jungle Love, the Desert Sand possibly, or one of the military greens. And then you have these ones, which I don't know. I don't think I would do these. You know, I'd rather stay towards the darker color, more reserved colors than the extreme colors. So it's between these four probably. All right. So let me know. Comments, please. Much appreciated.